Interested in traditional bow hunting, mobile hunting tactics, early season bow hunting tactics? Stick around and we'll have ourselves a hunting adventure. Hi, my name is Damon and welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the elements to combine for early season success in the whitetail woods. We're going to talk about scouting for sign, the type of trees to climb, what the buzz around saddle hunting is all about. We're going to see some wildlife. We're going to have some success in the deer woods. So stick around. Let's have a traditional bow hunting adventure. I'll often hunt near water in early season for various reasons. One, it covers your scent on the approach. Two, deer need to drink anyway. They're going to be near it. And when it's hot like this, those creek bottoms are cooler. There's denser foliage. And the deer are going to be hanging out in those cooler zones generally anyway. So the goal here I'm looking for is to find fresh feeding sign near this creek in the form of acorns. So I'm climbing up this face that I know deer use to find white oaks, looking and listening for acorns falling. And I'm not just looking for any acorns. What I'm looking for is, yes, I want to see acorns on the ground, but not the browner ones. What I'm looking for is the greener ones. I'm looking for the freshest, sweetest. Generally they're coming from white oaks at this time of year. And there's going to be fresh deer droppings near them. So in this case, there's a couple fresh green ones, and just feet away from it is fresh droppings that's still wet inside. So very, very fresh. As I scout around more, there's more droppings, some fresher, some older, but there's a lot of good sign here. So now I've got acorns, I've got droppings, I've got historical signs like a rub here. There's some obvious deer trails. You know, I had marked this kind of zone of white oaks earlier in the year by scouting. So I knew this was high potential, that there's going to be trees dropping in this zone. Now that I've gotten in here on foot, I've confirmed it. I'm seeing trees like this triple white oak that look like a potentially good set. But I ended up picking a different one about 15 yards uphill. I picked it because it offered this great canopy cover both above me and below me, which as a traditional bow hunter is super important so I don't see you draw. Generally when saddle hunting, I'll keep my platform mounted to the outside in the front, then under the lid I'll have my sticks, and I'll put my harness in the pack. I prefer it that way. And so as I'm unloading it here, there's the harness, then there's going to be a tree strap for mounting accessories to the tree, like hanging my backpack. I'll often have a short brimmed hat, which helps prevent the string from hitting your brim when you draw. And then other accessories. In this case, I'll have a game camera, binoculars, and water, and other things I want while I'm in the tree. There's plenty of videos out there on how to climb with sticks and a saddle setup, so I'm not going to get into that. But once I'm up in the tree, I'll load my arrow. I'll check for any obstructions, for directions I may draw. Here I'm looking down on some droppings on a trail, so that's a pretty good idea where a deer may come. And I'm also checking the wind. I'm making sure that it's blowing away from directions I think the deer are going to approach from. And here's some of my organization once I'm up there. I'll keep my optics and water within reach. Wind indicator there you just saw within reach. And everything you need kind of hangs right here in the Treehouse 38, right where I want it when I'm in a tree. About a half an hour before dark, a little buck showed up, and he kind of came in behind me and stayed downhill of me and walked past that triple white oak. And then right at last light, another buck approached, same direction but above me this time, and he walked right on that trail to me and spooked while I was trying to film him and move the camera. So even though no does came, I'll take that as a good first sit. I saw a deer, I saw the trails they were using, I confirmed they are coming and feeding, all good things. Generally when I'm packing up, I'll use a red light. In this case I'm using a Peaks headlamp. I'll put a link in the description. But I'll work under a red light, lower my pack, lower my bow. And the red light helps keep game from spooking. They can't see that light very good. So just got to be quiet, get everything out of the tree. And in this case, I decided to pull this set and pack it up and then move it to that triple white oak for the next day. So I just lower everything down, then I'll climb down, remove my sticks, remove the saddle, and then reset, make a new plan for day 2. One reason I like packs with organization is because in the dark, when you want to be fast, efficient, and not lose things, when everything has a place, it helps make that happen and go a lot smoother. I left the trail camera there, and sure enough, it got a photo of a doe that morning feeding right where I wanted her to be. So when I went back for the afternoon, I decided to climb that triple white oak you can see behind me there. Same routine as before, set up the sticks, climb the tree, remove any branches or obstructions that may impact my ability to move the bow on expected shooting lanes. And this time I also brought along a thermocell to help keep the mosquitoes at bay a little bit and mounted that to the pack as well. One of the benefits of hunting is certainly seeing other wildlife, and in this case I had a surprise bobcat visit. It ended up being a mother and a couple kittens, and I'll stop talking so you can hear her call them and get a view of them too. That was pretty special, and ironically, not soon after they walked out of sight, 4 different does were spooked by them over in that direction, and they came running up the face above me and then came and fed about 50 yards from me. So those bobcats may have impacted my hunt, but that's okay. I climbed down and then made a plan to again come back and try the next day. This time I would do it in the morning. That night, a little buck showed up and he kind of inspected my climbing sticks in the white oak, and then I went back in pre-dawn this time. So this is now the first morning hunt that I'm doing, going back in, crossing the creek, climbing back up, finding my stand, and getting set up in darkness, and then just kind of hanging out, waiting for sunrise. Right at first light, 2 does read the script and showed up. Then they came walking on that kind of upper trail where the deer spooked. One stayed to the left off the frame. This doe just kind of slowly fed, and all I needed for her to do was give me a clear shot before I could take it. She ran off immediately after the shot, and I thought it was good. So there you can see where she was standing, and she ran really hard. I heard a crash, so I wasn't too concerned about the shot, and I stayed in the tree for 2 more hours before getting down and checking for sign. Right when I got down to that hit site, there was obvious frothy lung blood. Right at the beginning, I found my nock and my arrow maybe 10 yards into the track, and there was an easy blood trail to follow all the way to her. It's always nice when the tracking job is easy and you know that that animal was taken quickly and as humanely as possible. I try to be very respectful of the game that I hunt. I appreciate what it provides for our family. Something I was taught is the lesser bison or last bite, in which you place fresh greenery in their mouth and you say your thanks to them for doing their part in the natural cycle between predator and prey. Doe for the freezer. Thank you. It is early doe season here in Virginia, which means you can only hunt does, and we're trying to limit the population down a little bit, and so happy to do so. Came out with my bear traditional Eichler build. This is the video I did a bottomland build on, and was able to spend a few days figuring out white oaks they were feeding under, and then get a nice close shot and easy recovery. I've also been testing the new Mystery Ranch Treehouse 38 backpack. It's been a great companion when I've been up in the saddle. And now I'm gonna go get the new Metcalf from Mystery Ranch and test it out as a meat hauler. So, you know my style. I don't usually drag anything. Where they go down is usually where I cut them up and they go into a backpack. Yummy. There you have it, tenderloin, doe gutless method. Just load onto that shelf. I'll put that on top, and you can flip that. Pull those in tight. Get in my bow. Got the doe. I'm out of here. Big step. Get my meat into a tray. Trad bow doe. What a great way to kick off the season. It's on there, you hicker. Huh? Oh.